they're likely wrong. That's the reason why you actually want to be nice, a gentle human being, is that often the case you will run into people that judge you in the wrong way, and they completely don't understand what you're about. And they maybe cut off resources, they maybe restrict you from opportunities, they may do all sorts of different things that prevent you from getting to where you're going to go to. And your response, and my response almost always, is just anger and frustration. And the truth is you're absolutely right to feel that most of the time. I think for many of us, that immediate response is probably the right response to deal with many of these things, because there's lots of moments where people do you wrong. But it's not about that person that matters. And I think that's where I want you to think about why you actually want to be a nice, civil human being, even to those people that actually slight you. It's because in the workplace and careers, you often have a lot of other things that are going on that people are watching and how you handle these situations. And they're trying to understand how you're going to deal when somebody actually does you an injustice. And there's many moments where that's actually going to happen. There are a lot of things that are completely unfair. You're going to do everything right, and you're probably going to be a nice human being, and you are going to be thoughtful, and you are actually going to try, and you are working in the best interest of everybody to the best of your ability. And I know that that is challenging, but to the best of your ability, you are doing the right things. And most people understand that about you, but all it takes is one person in a position of power where they don't understand that. And because of that, they may restrict opportunities from you, and you're going to feel that injustice, and it's going to hurt. And you are going to say, well, that's not fair. And that's the truth of it. It isn't fair. You know, one of the things that I have learned after many years is that doing the right thing often results in not what you're expecting. The outcome that you would like actually doesn't turn out, and you can perform all of the actions. This is based on many years of research and just personal experience as well. And it's not going to work out for you. But here's the thing. You are not playing the game for that one particular person. And I'm not trying to be like, the world is rosy and, everything is going to be hunky-dory. That's not what I'm saying at all. In fact, I encourage you to take possession of your life and exit out of those situations, or find ways to take control out of those situations to the best of your ability. Look for opportunities, really take control of who you actually are. But this is because the reason why I say this is because that there's often a lot that happens where people are watching how you carry yourself. And it's all of the other people, when they see that you can deal with a whole bunch of crap, maybe they don't have an opportunity at this moment, but I've been in this game for so long at this moment that if people see that you're a decent human being and that you are nice and that you are trying to do your best, they remember that for a long time. That type of person is very few and far between. They don't exist that often. Most people are highly motivated to get ahead, and they do things. I strongly believe that at this moment, to do things to get ahead to the best of their ability. And so they do things like take shortcuts. They do things where they are going to be expedient and all of those things that often we're told not to actually do. Or maybe they're just damn lucky and they can get everything right at the get-go. Genetics plays a huge role in our lives that we neglect all of the time in many conditions. But being a nice person, even when you're slated, it's not because, or slighted, it's not because of the other person. You are likely going to get walked over at that moment. But it's about everybody else. When they take a look at that and they say, that's the type of person I actually want around. And that's the challenging thing with all of this, is that you have to take a step back and say, you know what? I am playing a longer game in this circumstance. That doesn't mean if you play a longer game, that doesn't mean that you go out and, that you're just absolutely rosy, or that doesn't mean that you don't feel any of those things. What I'm saying is, just don't internalize any of that stuff that from that one particular person, or maybe a couple of people that are in power at that moment. What you do is you create distance between you and the problem, and you walk forward in a very diligent and happy way to the best of your ability. It's about letting go of what other people do to you so that you can actually do the things that you need to do. And it's also about living a life that other people admire. And those people are all over the place. And you would be surprised in how you conduct yourself. Having biting your lip. And I mean really, truly biting your lip. I do that a lot. I'm not the type of person anymore to really, I'm not the type of person to just be like, whatever. I feel it. And so I bite my lip and I move forward as a decent human being actually does, not for those people. Because you're not going to win with those people, right? That's not going to change anything. Nothing's going to result of that. But it's everybody else that's playing the game, and yourself, where you say, they're not that important in my life. They don't have bargaining power in my life. I can walk away and do any sort of thing that makes me proud and makes everybody else proud. And the more that I practice that, and the more that everybody else sees that I'm practicing that in a very stoic way, very, very much a way where you're trying to act like a Gandhi or a Nelson Mandela, where you look at the world and you simply just say, it's nuts, but I'm going to walk forward anyways, and have that constant pressure. And that constant pressure, that magical pressure that you are exerting on the world, eventually turns into something. And it's not it. It doesn't happen today. It maybe happens in the future. And at that moment, you'll be happy that you carried yourself with a little bit of grace. Take care and have a wonderful day.